Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 2 here between Nestea and MVP. This time we're here on Shattered Temple. We have got MVP spawning as the blue Terran player here in the 3 o'clock position, and then down over here in the 6 o'clock is Nestea as our red Zerg player. Now Nestea did manage to win game number 1, MVP opening up with some Hellion contain action, and then being a little greedy, moving into a very quick third, and then trying to contain Nestea. Nestea with some Zerglings outside of his base, plus Zerglings on the far left side, was able to converge on MVP's contain, mop up the tanks and all of those Marines, and then still on 2 bases, he pushed out with a 2-2 Speedling and Infestor counterattack and was able to punish MVP for being so greedy, and especially after losing all of his units in that contain. That was just a very unfortunate situation for MVP. Those 2 things combined, taking a quick third, plus losing everything that he had. And the thing is, MVP did not realize that there were so many Zerglings outside of Nestea's base. Nestea had some Zerglings spotted in the upper left-hand position of Shakuras, and with that, he was able to get us around from the backside, quickly take out some of those tanks, and that allowed him to quite easily mop it up. Now, had Nestea had all of his units inside of his main and natural, then MVP's contain would have been a lot more effective. Unfortunately for MVP, it's just a situation of had he scouted and looked for those Zerglings in the upper left-hand position, then he, realizing they were there, he would have probably protected his backside as much and not taken such a strong entrenched position as he did. But either way, that's how it ended up playing out, so congratulations to Nestea for that first victory. Now, as you can see, we are in near positions here on Shattered Temple, and that drone harass getting very close to killing off that SCV, and he's going to continue to chase him down. I do expect we may see a repair from MVP, or MVP is going to grab a few. There he is, repairing that SCV. Now, that's a loss of resources. It's small. It is very small, but it is still a loss of resources. This is exactly why this type of harass at professional levels can make a difference, because at this level where everything is, so down to the wire, forcing your Terran player to lose a couple of resources, or whoever, forcing someone to lose a few resources here and there can really give you an advantage, and that's really good. And again, once more, that is why this type of harass can be so effective. Now back over here, we can see Nestea did open up Hatch first, that expansion at 3/4 of the way finished. Spawning pool also 3/4 of the way finished. The extractor is now up. He's going to be getting that saturated and actually moving on down with 2 Jones. He just wants to make sure he's not dealing with any Marine pressure. That's very probable in these near positions, and here it comes. We will be seeing MVP attempt some pressure, but oh no, losing the SCV. That was an issue. That was definitely something that MVP could have prevented. What you can do is you can stop building and then just pull the SCV away, buy some time until your Marines show up, and then start rebuilding it again. And that's something that I expected MVP to do. A bit surprised he lost that SCV that way, in all honesty. Had there been Zerglings on the board and he lost his SCV, that would have made more sense, but he definitely could have prevented that from happening. Now, as we can see, Nestea coming out with the Roach Warren here, getting very close to complete at the moment. 4 Zerglings on the map. He will be pushing forward with those, getting some scouting done. MVP looks to be attempting to open up with some Hellions and into expansion. That is interesting, given these close spawn positions, that he'd be trying to expand so aggressively as he is right now. Zerglings scouting out, and what did they see? Well, they saw that reactor, so he pretty much knows what to expect. Saw the reactor, saw the factory as well, and here it comes. Hellion opening from MVP, but look at this. Back over here, Nestea. Is he droning up? No, he's not. He's coming out with roaches right now. A total of 7 will be produced, and typically what we'll see is a Zerg player will make these 7 roaches. That seems to be the sweet number there for busting a wall, and then just mass up Speedlings. And what happens is these roaches push up, they'll break down the wall, and then the Speedlings will just tear through the opponent's base. And it looks like, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm really concerned. We've got no bunker here for MVP. Without a bunker, he is going to be hurting because these roaches will start to tear through everything that MVP has. MVP needs to be so careful. He has already lost some units. You can see down 175. Here come the roaches, and again, they'll just be busting the wall. And then from this point forward, we expect to see Speedlings. Now, Nestea still hasn't come out with any follow-up. He's just waiting to see how effective this is and then deciding what to get. He has got 4 more roaches in production, so instead of the Speedling follow-up, he's going to be sticking with the roaches, knowing that there is no unit that can effectively deal with it. Hellions and Marines will deal a good job against Speedlings, but roaches, Hellions, and Marines are terrible. We've got the SCV surround coming up right now, and MVP is losing so many resources being off the line for this long, and he is in a terrible spot. He's going to be forced to try to land that. Roaches pushing on back, just trying to micro a little bit. We have got that first tank complete, and that's going to help a lot against these roaches. However, we've got these 4 here, and there's 9 total in play, so we've got 5 more elsewhere, and they're making their way across the map. MVP has lost so much. His mining is non-existent pretty much. He's almost got no mining going on, and there's still roaches in the base, and here come the reinforcements, and MVP with a quick GG. For the second game in a row, we saw Nestea punish our Terran player MVP for expanding too early and being too greedy. This was a much quicker victory than last game, but still Nestea able to scout out. There were only Marines and Hellions, and Roaches being so strong against both of those. Nestea's Roach heavy push was able to do tremendous amounts of damage. The only thing that could have saved MVP was this tank. However, it just got out far too late, and he lost far too many SCVs to these Roaches. What a game number 2 here between Nestea and MVP. Game number 3 coming up in just one moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.